Here we have a 2007 Maserati GranTurismo 4.2 V8. It has a nice grey metallic paintwork and it's shod with Trident design alloys. Accommodation includes a feisty red leather interior. Unfortunately, the car is losing electrical charge. A faulty battery or alternator is suspected. So in this video, we are going to test the battery's health and alternator's charging ability. Traditional metal key into the ignition barrel to start her up. And there's a nice Christmas tree set of warning lights there. As you can see, the red battery light has remained on with the engine running. This says there's a charging fault, so we need to check the condition of the battery and the alternator. To open the bonnet, locate the pull lever on the driver's side above the footwell. The lever will have a car and open bonnet symbol on it. Give it a tug and the bonnet will release. The gas struts, if working okay, will hold this long bonnet. There sits a Ferrari Maserati derived 4.2 V8 engine. The alternator sits on top of the engine block, partially hidden under the intake manifold that you can see there. There's the alternator with its pulley and serpentine belt. There are two rubber drive belts, one upper serpentine belt that runs around the pulleys of the two spring-loaded belt tensioners, the crankshaft pulley and the alternator pulley. Inspect the belts for wear, such as fraying edges or cracks in the grooves. You don't want cracks in your grooves. There's the belts and pulleys at another angle. You can see the crankshaft pulley down below and to the right a tensioner pulley. We need to inspect the alternator with the engine running, so we need to start her up. If the alternator's bearings are worn, you will hear a squealing noise. A light whine is normal. The lack of charging could be due to worn bushes that used to be replaced, or an electrical fault due to the age of the alternator. This could be the original factory fitted back in 2007. Now we need to check out the condition of the battery and the charging output of the alternator. The battery resides in the boot. The boot has an electrically operated button under the lid. If the vehicle's battery fails completely, there is a manual release cord under the rear passenger seat on the vehicle's near side or left side. The boot lid is held up by gas struts, one each side. To get to the battery, you need to remove some boot trim, shown here. You will need a general electric tester that can test around 12 volts to ascertain the battery voltage and to test the alternator output. The remaining battery compartment panel is secured by a couple of screws. The battery is secured at its bottom with clamps. If you have a battery analyzer, you will be able to check the health of the battery. You need to eliminate a bad battery. A bad battery can be good news, as generally the battery will be cheaper and an easier option to replace than the alternator. Attach the analyzer to the battery. Going through the menus on the analyzer, select if the battery is in or out of the vehicle, the battery type and rating as displayed on the battery sticker. Run the test. The results on this analyzer are spread over 2 pages. They will include the battery's state of health, state of charge and recorded cranking rating. It will also advise you if the battery needs a recharge or replacing. The display is advising that a good recharge is required. This could be an indication that the alternator has not been charging the battery. To test the alternator output, we need to connect up the electrical tester. Start the car up. Ask a helper or humanoid to rev the engine to approximately 2000 revs per minute. This will excite the alternator into its charging cycle. If the alternator is charging the battery, the voltage reading here should creep up to around 13.8 volts. If the voltage increases only slightly, stays about the same or even decreases, the alternator is not doing its job and needs investigating. Then we need to try testing the alternator under load. Switch on the headlights, the heated rear window, the air conditioning, blowers, fans and anything that draws a lot of current. Then ask the humanoid to rev the engine again to around 2000 revs. If the voltage readings are worse, as these devices are turned on and draw more power from the battery, the alternator is not compensating and could be faulty. This looks like the alternator needs removing for inspection and or replacement. This will be covered in a separate video. Now, to remove the alternator. Subscribe to this channel to be notified when new videos are published. Thank you for watching.
Roger, 1202, we copy it.